This podcast is brought to you by Convo Cloth, the official clothing apparel of the NBC podcast. For the latest apparel, please go to www.nothingButConvos.com. Now, let's get into the latest episode of the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. What's good, people? It's the NBC podcast with your boy, S. McCann. And this is episode 48, Brinks truck. Our boy, Jalen Hurts, just got that $255 million deal. Signed it yesterday. Woo. Highest paid quarterback in the league. Highest paid player in the league. $51 million. Let's get it. And so in this episode, I break down free agency, current players linked to the Eagles via trade, the Jalen Hurts breaking big contract, and then I have to talk about that draft. So sit back, relax, let's get it. Episode 48, Brinks truck. Yes, sir. Our boy just got paid $255 million. Goodness. I know y'all ain't hearing from me for a long time. Man, I took a little break. Now I'm back at it, refreshed, ready to go. But yeah, you haven't heard from me since week 13. Man, a lot of things done happened. We went to the bowl, lost it, heartbreaker. But yeah, I had pods coming out, but then I'm like, man, I just don't want to jinx this right now because we was doing so good. And so that's why I ain't pod in a minute. I'm back, refreshed, and let's get it. But yeah, our boy, Jalen Hurts, that $255 million, $51 million per year, highest paid player ever in the history of the NFL. It won't last long, no. But a team-friendly deal, player-friendly deal, that's the best deal that you can make right there. And it's flexibility of us getting whoever we want. We can get them throughout this deal. The deal really is a 6-year deal, $255 million. Signed early. You get to spread that money out. In 6 years, they didn't do that with Dak. Hurt him in the long run. They ain't do that with Jackson. Hurting them in the long run. See? You got to be smart. The Eagles is one smart organization. They know when to do deals. They know when to not do deals. They know everything about the market and how this contract is structured. Oh, my goodness. It should be illegal. But when your GM is a financial guy, his background is finance. That's his background. That's what he do. And they got people on the Eagles. That's what they do. They find cracks in the CBA. They find cracks on what they can do, what they can't do, and all of that. And it benefits them in the long run all the time. So let's start out right now. I'm going to get to that Jalen Hurts big contract, and then I'm going to do a separate pod with all the contract numbers, how it breaks down, what y'all need to look for in the contract and all of that. But basically, the boy's getting paid. And so, free agency. Free agency started. And how we go into free agency since the past 5 years or something like that. We do 1-year deals. We fill these holes on our team so we don't have to reach for another player. That's how we do it. We already know it's players that we reached for in drafts and players that we shouldn't have drafted for in previous drafts. So let me break down the draft reaches that we did back in the day. Danny Watkins, the fireman, trash. Derek Barnett, garbage. Should never got Derek Barnett. And I was at that draft because that draft was in Philadelphia. Should never got him. Mike Mamula. I remember Mike Mamula. Garbage. And the most upsetting of them all, because we needed a defensive end, was Marcus Smith. That was one of the worst picks that the Eagles could have got. Now, players that we shouldn't have drafted or shouldn't have got drafted by the Eagles, Jalen Reagor, Andre Dillard, JJ, Arcega-Whiteside, whatever how you want to call it, trash, terrible. He was a bum, garbage. We shouldn't have did that. But we see now what Howie does with these one-year deals and re-signing his own players. We see it. He fills the hole so he doesn't have to reach during the draft. And now you can pick the best player on the board. Now, will we do that this year? I don't know. But we have been doing it the last 2 years of picking Devontae Smith and Big Jordan Davis. And then we got a number one out of the Saints. And that number one became the 10th pick of the draft this year. So some people will call it a luxury pick. It is what it is. All I'm saying is I don't want no offensive lineman. And we're going to get into that. But free agency, we signed Rashawn Penny. 1 year, $1.35 million deal. Terrell Edmonds, safety. 1 year, $2 million. Justin Evans, safety. 1 year, $1.59 million. Nicholas Morrow, 1 year, $1.1 million. Darius Slay, 2 years. He got an extension, restructure, whatever you want to have it. Brung that cap number down. And that happened because Chauncey Gardner, he was playing hardball, and then how he had to pivot and say, look, man, you won't want to take this deal? All right, we looking at Darius Slay and James Bradbury. So Darius Slay got 2 year, $42 million restructure. His base salary is only $1 million. And for 2024, it's $1.2 million. So this year, 2023, $1 million base salary. Next year, $1.2 million base salary. All or most of his money came in guarantees at signing. Basically a signing bonus. James Bradbury, 3 years, $38 million. Basically the same salary as Slay. Signing bonus and all of that. Marcus Mariota, 1 year, $5 million deal. Could go up to $8 million. Greedy Williams, 1 year, $1.35 million. Boston Scott, 1 year, $2 million. Jason Kelce brought him back. 1 year, $14.75 million. Highest paid center in the league. Lane Johnson, 1 year extension. $33 million and signed until 2026. Fletcher Cox, 1 year, $10 million. Brandon Graham, 1 year, $6 million. And then OZ, his name crazy. I ain't trying to spell it. I'm bad with names, but I'm going to call him Oz, OZ, 1 year. And I just seen today it was like $1 million for the year. So you see, and he's a receiver. So you see, we got Rashad Penny, running back. Terrell Edmonds, safety. Justin Evans, safety. Nicholas Morrow, linebacker. Darius Slay, James Bradbury, corners. Backup quarterback Marcus Mariota. Boston Scott, running back. Greedy Williams, corner. Jason Kelce, center. Lane Johnson, right tackle. Fletcher Cox, D tackle. Brandon Graham, DN, and then Oz, receiver. So we really did that. Now we don't got no pieces that we really, 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 really need. Now we can make these groups better, which Howie, he does that. And the season doesn't start until September. We all should know that. The season does not start until September. So we shouldn't be worrying, oh, we need this in the draft, we need that in the draft. Nah, let them do their work. All I'm saying is we got the 10th pick and the 30th pick. We should get some blue chippers. So these current players that are linked to the Eagles via trade: Budda Baker, safety, Arizona; Devin White, linebacker, the Bucks; and Derrick Henry, running back, Titans. I wouldn't mind having all of them. Budda Baker's nice. I don't know what you got to give up for him, but we can talk about that after the draft. I don't want to give up no current picks this draft. We only got 6. Devin White, we can talk to y'all after the draft. We only got 6 picks. Now, if you want to come up to 10 and we move back to 19 and you throw in Devin White, that's different. That's totally different. But right now, I ain't trying to trade no picks for these players. Derrick Henry, you can get him for next year's 2, because we got 2 of those. I don't want to trade nothing this year. And I'd rather take a Gibbs or a Bijan Robinson over Henry. And if we don't get 2 of them, then we can resurface back to try to get Derrick Henry. But I don't want to give up any picks this year in this draft. So Jalen Hurts' contract is crazy. 5 years, $255 million. 23, that's what's in his pocket. $23 million signing bonus. $51 million average. Total guarantees. The total, not guaranteed as signing. Guaranteed as signing is $110 million. But the total guarantees of the contract is $179 million. 300,000. So basically, he's getting 180 total guarantees. And I'll tell you where it fits at on a scale of current quarterbacks. Unrestricted free agent, 2029. Big thing, no trade clause. And he can earn up to $15 million in incentives. So check out these cap hits. 2023, 6.15 mil. 2024, 13.56 mil. 2025, 21.77 mil. 2026, 31.77 mil. So you see, the cap hits are manageable for a Super Bowl quarterback. He didn't win, but he went and took the team to the Super Bowl. So to get this deal done so quick, it was in the Eagles' favor and it was in Jalen Hurts' favor because all he wanted to do was play football. And the Eagles drafted him in the second round, so he didn't have a 5th-year option. Now you can have basically a 6-year deal because you can give him a signing bonus during his 4th year. And what player is going to turn that down? Ain't no way. It's basically he getting $30 million for his 4th-year option. If you want to call it that, 4th-year option. And so the real numbers is crazy. And like I said, it's so much that we can break down and we can go into. This will need another pod. But largest new money NFL contracts. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. He got $450 million. Josh Allen got $258 million. Jalen Hurts is 3rd on the list, $255 million. Russell Wilson got $242 million, and Kyler Murray got $230.5 million. And including Deshaun Watson, he's 6 on this list because he got $230 million, and that was all guaranteed, which is crazy. And so the signing bonus. Some people might say, why is the signing bonus so small? It's 11th. He's on a rookie extension. So that signing bonus that they gave him is so low because now you can manipulate through these years of getting an option bonus and all of that. So they really put these option bonuses in this contract to be team friendly so we can really get anybody we want. So guaranteed at signing is $110 million. That ranks third. Deshaun Watson, he got a fully guaranteed. Russell Wilson got $124 and Jalen Hurts got $110 million. Kyler Murray got $103 and Aaron Rodgers got $101 million. So practical guarantees. Jalen Hurts is second. He's getting $179.3 million. Basically $180. It's practical guarantees. Goodness gracious. I went through the cap hits. So the cap hits after 2026, 2027 is $45.8 million. And then 2028 is $54.1 million. And then 2029 to 2032, they got void years, but it's probably going to be more void years to come. But he's not going to get to 2027 and 2028. They're probably going to redo the deal again. So his current cash flow in year one, basically, is this year coming up. It's $24.3 million. That's what he's getting. Then year two, he's getting $40 million. Year three, $42 million. And then year 4, $51. Year 5, $51. And year 6, $51. Like I said, during the first 3 years, they have option bonuses and all of that stuff that's built into this contract. Once he gets in a certain month, the team has an option bonus to exercise that option bonus. So Hurts, his money within the 2 years ranks 10th among quarterbacks. And he's getting $64.3 million in the next 2 years in cash. And that ranks 10th. Which, it ain't bad because he want to win. Like I said, I'm going to go take a deeper dive in this contract because it's something to get into to see how the Eagles structure contracts and then how the rest of the league structure contracts. They're like 5 steps ahead of everybody. The Eagles are ahead of everybody in this game, man. I'm telling you. Our GM is like 5 steps ahead of everybody. And it's like, when you see it, it's crazy. These cap hits are crazy, but they know how to manipulate it, man. They know how to manipulate the rules, which every team should have a guy like that, but they don't. So the draft. I'll give you the players I would like to see the Eagles get, or for the Eagles to draft. And this is my Eagles draft board. And I'll go through each position group. And then I'll tell you who I would like to see at 10 and 30. Running backs. I think, this is me, I think there's 1A and 1B in this draft. Bijan Robinson is 1A, 5'11", 220 pounds. He ran a 4.4, 4.49, 4.4, whatever. Got enough speed, got enough strength. Vision is crazy. Jahmyr Gibbs is 1B, 5'9", 200, ran a 4.3. He got it. He's a beast. And so that's my RB, 1A, 1B. Then my third one, I like Zach Evans out of Ole Miss. I like him. Enough speed, big. I like him. Then you got Zach Carbonet is my fourth. But to me, I would want Bijan, Jamar Gibbs, a Zach Evans, a Zach Carbonet, Chase Brown. He's nice. And a Tank Bigsby from Auburn. He's nice. Receivers that I would want us to draft. Jackson Smith. He the number one. Then you got Jalen Hyatt. He's a speedster. He only run one route. Tank Dell, nice. I like Tank Dell. Marvin Mims is nice. Rashid Rice. Jalen Reed. Cedric Tillman. But the sleeper out of these dudes is Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss. Reminds you a little bit of a baby A.J. Brown. That player right there, that should be on the Eagles' radar where you can put him in the slot. Got enough speed, run a 4.4. And so then he can be AJ's backup if AJ went down or whatever. You still got to think of that. My number one tight end, it's just one tight end on there. It's Dalton Kincaid. He nice. He's my second tight end. But Darrell Washington, big boy from Georgia. They said he's like an extra O-lineman out there blocking. But don't sleep on him because he can run routes too. I like him. O-line, they talking about Peter Skronsky for, I know I messed up his name, at pick 10. And then Paris Johnson. Then you got Broderick Jones and then Osiris Terrence. That's who I want at guard. If we can get him in the second or at 30, that's who I want. But I really don't want no offensive lineman in the first round because we got the best O-line coach that can make a player. It's just like Clay. He can just put them together and he can make them how he want to make them. You know? And that's stout. So I don't understand everybody want, pick a O-lineman. Nah, we good with that. To me. So D tackle. Y'all already know the number one D tackle is Jalen Carter. If we got to move up in the draft to get him, that's fine. If he falls to 10, that's cool. Then you got number 2 on this list is Brian Brees. He been hurt or whatever, but that's not who I want. Then you got Kalijah Cansey. That's who I want for this team. And then Mozzie Smith is a beast. That's who I want. Jalen Carter, if he not there, Kalijah Cansey, and then Mozzie Smith, beast. DN, we getting to DNs. Will Anderson, you know he number 1. He ain't going to make it to us. But the consolation prize might be Nolan Smith. He ran a 4.3. His comp is Hassan Reddick. Miles Murphy, if he's there. Tyree Wilson. I don't like Van Ness. And then Will McDonald. Linebackers. I think his name is Dalen Hentley. Oh, man, he's a beast. Sideline to sideline. But he ain't ranked number 1. They got Jack Campbell ranked number 1. But my person that I want is Dylan Hentley. He's ranked number 1 on my list. In the corners, you got Devin Witherspoon, number 1 to me. Christian Gonzalez, number 2. The player I want for the Eagles is Emmanuel Forbes. He picks everything off. Then you got Kelly Ringo. I like him. That's my number 4. Number 5, Joey Porter. Number 6, Delonte Banks. Number 7, this is who I want the Eagles to draft. Julius Brents. You can play him at safety in the slot. They said he's a taller Maddox. That's crazy. Then you go down. Then you got Cam Smith. That's number 8. DJ Turner. He's number 9. Eli Ricks. He's number 10. And then Clark Phillips III. He's nice. I think he can play safety as well. Who knows? And so my safeties, I like a lot of safeties. But I like everybody on this list, 1 through 8. Brian Branch is number 1. If we can get him at 30 or move back in the draft, if none of the targets are there, and get him at like 15 or 19 or something, that's fine. Antonio Johnson, nice. Texas A&M. Jordan Battle. Alabama. Sidney Brown. I get him mixed up with Illinois and Syracuse because they got the same colors. Jamie Robinson. Florida State. Chris Smith, Georgia. J.L. Skinner, Boise State. And Jair Brown, Penn State. But the top 5 that I would want is Brian Branch, Antonio Johnson, Jordan Battle, Sidney Brown, and Jair Smith. So at 10 and 30, if Jalen Carter is not there and Bijan is, you pick Bijan Robinson. If Bijan is not there at 10 and Jalen Carter's not there at 10, and then Tyree Wilson and Miles Murphy, I don't like Miles Murphy like that, but if they're not there, you move back and collect picks. You collect picks, you might want to go receiver, or you might want to go tight end. I don't know how far they're going to go back. And then if you move back, you might want to get a safety. So say if we just stay put and Jalen Carter is there at 10, you pick Jalen Carter. Then at 30, you get Jahmyr Gibbs. But if Jalen Carter's not there, you get Bijan Robinson. Then at 30, you might can get a Nolan Smith or a Kalijah Canty. But who knows what they might do. But the main focus should be trying to get Jalen Carter. That's the number 1. If we got to move up, or if he slips down to us, that's it. Because pairing him with Jordan Davis would be crazy. But we'll see. Thursday night. Yes, sir. I can't wait. So with that, people, it's a wrap. 1.
Nothing like it.
So that was episode 48. Brinks truck. Yeah, our boy got paid $255 million. Team friendly deal. He got paid, and all he want to do is win. And so, in this episode, I broke down free agency, players that want to come to the Eagles via trade, that boy big contract, and the draft. And the outcome of the draft, we don't know. We don't know who might fall, who we might go up in the draft to get. We'll see on Thursday. But with that, people, stay safe, give respect, and show love. 1. Make sure you go listen to all old and new NBC podcast episodes on all podcasting platforms. And please go to www.nothingbutconvos.com for the latest apparel.